On this episode of My So-Called Podcast, we'll be taking you back to the heady days of November 7th, 1997.
We're going to discuss the album Spiceworld from the band Spice Girls, and we're going to discuss the movie Starship Troopers from the director Paul Verhoeven.
Like the past. The movie never changes. It can't change, but every time you see it, it seems different because you're different. You see different things.
Welcome to My So-Called Podcast. I am Gary Linton.
And I am still Eric Siegel.
Still Eric Spiegel. You have not changed your name, even though I keep telling you, Eric Spiegel, it doesn't roll off the tongue. Maybe jazz it up a little bit.
I feel like I would have remembered if you ever said that to me.
Oh, I'm just saying that about you. I'm always like, why does Eric keep his name? He should jazz it up a little bit.
Well, you know, at this point, maybe I should, Gary.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, how about Eric Grant or Eric Bergman
I don't even have to be Eric.
Oh, how about Ingrid Bergman?
Okay, that would be confusing.
Only, I don't think anyone's going to confuse you for the other Ingrid Bergman.
Well, you also have to think about Googleability, and so I would think maybe the eyes in Ingrid would be the number one or something.
Can we talk about Ingrid Bergman's eyes for a moment? Oh my gosh.
They look like the number one for some reason. Weird.
Yep. So.
How about Ingmar Bergman?
Yeah, I like it.
There's a potential band name in there where you combine the two, but their names are almost too similar.
But how about Ingrid Ingmar?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yep.
You did it.
Yes. Screw you, Mom.
That's a pretty good name.
This is a podcast where we go back to a week in the 90s and we talk about an album and a movie that were released usually the same week. We're a week off. They were released within a week of each other this week. So it's Spice Girls, Spiceworld, and the movie, Eric?
It's Starship Troopers. Paul Verhoeven's 1997, totally straight and to the point and not any kind of social commentary whatsoever. And there is no satire in the movie. We're just going to think of it as a normal story.
Straight, yes. So we'll talk about Starship Troopers in the second half of the podcast. The first half we'll talk about Spiceworld. This is 1997. We usually like to reminisce about 1997. 1997. Look at everybody listening to Spiceworld.
I think, honestly, my experience of November 7th was 1 week into my new relationship with my girlfriend of the show.
Ex-girlfriend.
My ex-girlfriend of the show, Alicia Spiegel. So I was having good times. I do think that Friday we went to see I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Previous My So-Called Podcast episode, I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah, so it came out this same-ish week, and then I didn't see Starship Troopers until I went home for Thanksgiving. So I was definitely into this music, but I was going to say, I think Spice Girls had broken in the UK first.
Yeah.
And then Wannabe and To Become One and all that stuff seemed like it was all through my freshman year.
Yeah,
like,
freshman year of
coming out.
college. Yes, that's true. So
And
because that was
although this album sold 14 million copies, I feel like I thought like it was a little soon for a whole nother full album, even though it hadn't been. It had been a long time for them. I mean, it had been 3 years they were working on the first album or whatever. But anyhow,
I mean, the Beatles released Revolver and Rubber Soul within a calendar year, but the Spice Girls came out with an album too soon, Eric. You are a sexist. You are a Sexist jerk.
I'm gonna own that, and then I'm gonna be introspective about it.
Good.
I don't take it lightly to talk about the Spice Girls in the first half of the show, and we'll get there. Without being sexist, I think a real reevaluation of the way we spoke about and thought about popular women, and now thinking about the way that people were sort of treated the Spice Girls, and also just like, I don't know, the ways they made fun of them or what have you, resonate differently the many years later. But anyway, two white dudes, two cis het white dudes talking about the Spice Girls could go into some bad places.
Well, you know what? It's not going to go back in any bad places. How can we, two white cis het dudes, go in anything but the proper, correct way, Eric?
The only thing I feel good about is
Ingmar.
Ingmar.
Yes.
I think if that's going to be our band name, I'm going to need to learn how to say it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get back to it. The Spice Girls are very intriguing to me. I've got a lot to say. I also love my boy, Paul Verhoeven. So this is a sweet combo of things for Herr Dugelmeister. That's me.
Oh, okay.
The one I gave my heart to is Aaliyah. I want to say not one of Aaliyah's most popular songs.
What's going on? Are you doing the top 10 singles right now?
Yeah, the top 10 singles.
We usually, I guess I just need an edit point to be like, that's what's starting, you know?
Okay, sorry. Let's pause.
Yep.
You want to clap on 3?
No, we don't need to clap on 3. This is all, I'm not going to edit this out. This is all golden. So, but we'll tell the listener, we'd like to go ahead and give you the songs that were on the radio, the top singles that were out the same week. You know,
I mean,
you don't like that?
What episode is this? Number 1?
Oh, because everybody's listening. Everybody's a completist. Nobody's just tuning in the first time.
I really think maybe if you're listening to this episode,
this is the perfect episode to start on.
Okay, I guess maybe Spice Girl fans or
237. This is episode 237 of my so-called podcast.
Ooh, isn't that the Shining Room?
237. Maybe. I'm not.
It's room 237.
Yeah,
I think so.
That's possible.
Creepy, dude.
Yeah, we should have done The Shining for this episode, and the soundtrack to The Shining.
Unfortunately, if we did do The Shining, we would have to do the one with the guy from Wings in it, Steven Weber.
Oh, that's right. That did come out in the 90s, and I did watch it. It was a 2-day television event.
It was, and it's like we finally got to see the
hedge animals
turn into hedge animals
the
and come
topiary.
alive, like we all wanted all those years.
Exactly.
We needed the alcoholism thing just a little more explicit.
And the furnace. The furnace played a bigger part in the movie as it does in the book because, he blows up the hotel in the book. Spoiler alert for a 40-year-old book.
That's different than the movie.
Yes. So
I did recently read that, and it's a good book. I've been going through like the greatest hits of Stephen King that I never got around to. Pet Sematary is also quite a good book.
You hadn't read The Shining before? Mm-mm. Oh, so I had read The Shining. So yeah, and
I just I saw the movie first, like a lot of people.
Yeah, and were you like, oh, it's gross because it's not exactly like the book?
No, because I saw the movie first.
Yeah, but you could still inherently just know it's gross because it's not exactly like the book.
Maybe if it weren't like incredibly made, I might have said that. But I just recently watched it projected on the wall of our basement, and I'll tell you
the way the Kubrick wanted it to be watched.
Well, it was big, is what I'm saying.
Okay,
big and loud, and it's good. It's very good. I mean, I'm gonna go on record to say it's not a bandwagon thing. I get The Shining more than I get The Godfather per se.
Okay.
personally, like I really
'Cause
feel
of-
The Shining. It's
yeah.
just like 2 hours of dread.
Okay,
Anyhow.
well, anyhow, I don't even know how we got on that. But
How did we get on that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Steven Weber's The Shining.
Yeah, but then how did
237.
we? Oh, 237, episode 237. That's right. Okay, these are the songs.
So this is the one I gave my heart to.
This
by
is number
Aaliyah.
10.
Yeah.
This is the number 10 song. I'm not hearing that. Are you playing something?
I am. Wait, maybe it's not loud enough for you. You not hear it?
No, still not coming
Bummer.
through. That is a
It works
bummer.
on your end.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. You heard the music?
I heard the music.
Yeah, okay.
It's okay. I don't need to play Aaliyah for you, but it sounds.
R.I.P. R.I.P. Aaliyah.
No, Little Planes, right?
Yeah.
Number 9, Quit Playing Games with My Heart by the Backstreet Boys. That's the parentheses I was...
With my heart.
Yeah.
You know, when you say quit playing games, do you think it's like soccer or baseball?
Or, no, maybe it's like more cheesy
Chess.
or scattergories.
Categories. Could you just see a little heart writing down real fast and arguing? Oh, no, I should get 2 points for that.
Maybe it's like bocce ball.
Oh,
or
yeah.
horseshoes.
Yep, I like it.
Number 8, Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba.
Yeah, you get knocked down, but you get it up again.
And you're never gonna knock me down.
Keep me down, I think it is.
That's the way Homer sang it.
Okay.
Number 7, You Were Meant for Me by Jewel.
Oh, yeah, that was a big one.
Is she MAGA now?
I don't think full MAGA, no, but...
I feel
yeah.
like she would have to be at least anti-vax.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I gotta Google this.
Okay, Jewel Kirshner.
Oh, I see. She apologizes for performing at the inauguration. And then it says in Yahoo News Canada, I'm gonna have to read more Canadian news. This is funny. It says, Jules says she sang at Trump inauguration event to, I don't know what that is, but the first line is, Jewel is explaining why she thinks it's okay to cozy up to MAGA. So yeah,
okay,
I definitely.
Yep, it sounds like she is.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, it's hard to. Anyway, rest in power, Jewel.
Eric, no.
I'm not gonna kill her. I promise. My Love is the Shh by Something for the People, featuring Trina and Tamara.
Oh, okay. The Maori twins of Sister.
My Love is the Shh exclamation point.
Right. I do think it was like My Love is the SHIT. Okay. But then they shh him before he's able to say it.
Okay. I feel like that's, of all the expressions, I was one that I never got.
My love is
something being the shit being good. Because it just feel like it's not good.
Well, no, you're right.
Anyhow, All Cried Out by Allure was in the number 5 spot, featuring 112. At number 4, ironically, The 4 Seasons of Loneliness by Boyz II Men. I think that song is hilarious, and that video is hilarious, and I tip my cap to Boyz II Men for the 4 Seasons of Loneliness. Check it out.
Okay.
Number 3, How Do I Live Without You by Leanne Rimes.
That's right, Busta's sister.
You remember when Leanne Rimes came out originally and she was like 13?
Yeah, I think she was 14, but yeah, so.
It's like, can you imagine if my youngest son had a pop career right now?
Yeah.
That'd be odd. Number 2, You Make Me Wanna by Usher.
And that's right.
The thing is, you make me want to go to a Puff Daddy party.
Whoa.
I'm really slandering everybody.
Yeah, you are. We're going to get sued.
Who did I first slander, though? I think it was
Stanley Kubrick.
all I did was praise that. Usher says he saw very curious things when he lived with Diddy for a year at age 13.
Hey, that was when Leanne Rimes was a pop star.
that headline from People magazine is horrible. I can't believe I just read that. Anyway, for Usher, number two. Oh, that was You Make Me Wanna. Number one, Candle in the Wind, 1997 by Elton John, and all the proceeds go to something, probably her favorite charity, I guess.
Yeah. Elton, all the proceeds go to Elton John's costumes.
Wig maker.
Yes.
Candle in the Wind 97 is perhaps one of the strangest cultural moments, because I feel like Diana dying really did like rock the U.S. She was pretty popular here, right?
Yeah.
It was a big deal I remember it was like a Saturday night, right?
Saturday night's all right for fighting. Speaking of Elton John.
Elton John, yeah, sure. That's true. So. I mean, maybe I'm proving my own point here. You never know.
I think you're really connecting the dots.
But his dumbass, like the Candle in the Wind, it was about Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
If you read Jigger, a song that's about Marilyn Monroe explicitly for a different cultural person, you're insulting both of them, Elton. And this is coming from a guy who listened to a lot of Elton John, and I'm talking about 90s Elton John in my bedroom as a teenager. I like the guy.
Yeah. I think it's like his heart was in the right place, but it was just like, oh, cringe. This is very cringe. Don't do it.
It would be probably, you could take it as the ultimate shark jumping moment for his taking him totally seriously as an artist.
Yeah. That's
because I mean, if The Lion King didn't quite do it, which is sort of like what happened to Phil Collins with Tarzan.
I think worse with Phil Collins. I think because like it was almost like Elton John got a pass on The Lion King because maybe they were such good songs, and so everyone liked them, and so he would. But I feel like Phil Collins after Tarzan, he was kind of written off right away. It was like, oh,
well,
whatever.
I mean, I think that's probably a good point. The songs in The Lion King are sung by the characters, whereas I think in Tarzan it's just sort of like turns into a Phil Collins musical every once. Every once in a while.
Yeah, I think you're right. Or not? It's because Tarzan's not actually a musical, so
right. So then it's just like montages. He gets the montages. So that's not the same thing as I Just Can't Wait to Be King, which is a bang. It's a banger.
Yeah, exactly. And what's the
Can You Feel the Love Tonight?
Oh, The Circle of Life, I think, is the one I was.
Circle of Life. You might remember a little ditty that means no worries.
That's right.
For the rest
Hakuna
of your days.
Matata. Did Elton John write that?
He's music and Tim Rice's lyrics, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
So they got real Broadway and pop star talent, and it worked better than Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark.
Yes.
In any case, Elton John disappointed me big time in the wake of Diana's death, and I could have forgiven him for the tastelessness of the performance if it was just a one-off.
Right, but to release it as a single.
Release it as a single for like $7-8, and it's like literally cashing in. I'm sure it went to charity. But
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So those are the songs. I'm surprised Spice Up Your Life was not on that list at all because,
interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting because it sold a ton of albums and had 3 number 1 hits, but I wasn't as clued into these songs as the first album's singles. But
no, right.
Go ahead.
So okay,
you want to ask me an either or question?
I'm going to ask you an either or question. So this is going to be 3 choices, Eric. Either the Spiceworld album is the better product, or the Spiceworld movie is the better product, or they're inseparable and you have to consume them as one identity, one piece of media.
I think that, this is based on me seeing Spiceworld in the theater once.
Okay, well, yeah, right.
Full on ironically with a bunch of other 18-year-olds.
Yeah. Okay. We would have been over 18.
19.
Yeah.
Where the ushers of the Forum 8 had to come and be like, guys,
yeah,
there's kids here that want to watch the movie for real.
I had to tell my 17-year-old who was going to see the Minecraft movie to be like, make sure you're not ruining it for any of the kids that want to actually watch it. And he was like, okay. And then when he came back, he was like, no, everybody was there, ironically. Everybody was there, ironically. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's like the first mass distributed in-joke of a movie that everybody got right away. It's weird. It's like it became a cult movie on day one.
Yeah. Liam went the Saturday that it came out, so day 2. And he was like, we were all there to make fun of it.
But I think it's a little bit in on the joke because it's the Napoleon Dynamite guy. So that's like
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Napoleon Dynamite's a bad movie, and apparently Minecraft is a bad movie.
Well, I'm sure that it is,
yes.
Gary. Don't get me wrong. I think Napoleon Dynamite is a fair movie, but the sense of humor is this detached, ironic stuff. I think that people are associating with this movie. So I guess it would be a good job if I were to see it.
Yeah, that's true. I haven't seen it either. Yeah, so...
but anyway, that's fun. That's what's going on in 2025. Way to date this podcast, Gary.
True.
What if somebody was just really vibing on 1997?
And I just ripped them out of that timeline, a la Time Cop.
So, I don't remember what the movie was like, except for that I don't remember being all that impressed with it. And at the time, however, I was not all that impressed with this album, as you know, but I wasn't that familiar with it. But having listened to it a few times for this podcast, I like this album, and I would probably recommend the album over the movie, which I remember thinking is not so great.
Yeah, so I saw the movie on I don't know, was it a tape? We definitely didn't go to the theaters, but I think we did watch it.
It was like a Union Jack on the VHS.
Yeah,
I mean, all posing.
There was I think that's where we watched it. I guess we rented it and watched it ironically in college, but or it was just on TV. But I have also seen it. Richard Grant he gives his all in it. I guess I want to say first, like, I remember... I
would need to watch it again, and I would gladly watch it again for the podcast, Gary.
I would say, like, Wannabe came out. I remember Wannabe coming out in our freshman year of college, and I remember hearing that, like, you know, it was on MTV, and I see in the video first time on MTV in the dorm room, and I, like, when I first thought it, I was like, this is very catchy. I think I like this, but then I heard it so much, I was like, well, of course I like it. It was produced to make me like it. You know, it was engineered, and
it's like, is there flavor in this cotton candy?
Exactly.
Why am I eating it?
That's right. And I think that's what a lot. I mean, they're all talented people giving you empty calories, I feel like, is what the Spice Girls is. And it's fine. Sometimes it's fine to have those empty calories. You know, you want something sweet, eat it. You know, I don't think there's much underneath the surface. You know, like Spice Up Your Life, that's a fun song, you know, but
it sounds like their tests that, like, maybe they were thinking about writing the FIFA World Cup song, and that's what came out of them.
The lyrics are a little ridiculous.
Oh yeah. So do you know their songwriting process?
No.
I'll tell you about their songwriting process, Gary, because it's very interesting, and not in a way that I would say. I
mean, slam it to the left if you're having a good time.
If you're having a good time,
shake it to the right.
So before we get to the songwriting process, I just want to tell you when they were all born.
Okay.
So Mel B was born, and this is another fun thing about this segment, which I'll call the UK has fun names. We're gonna find out where they're all from too. So Mel B was born in 1975 in Hare Hills, Leeds. Melanie C, 1974 in Whiston, Lancashire. Emma Bunton was born 1976 in Finchley, Barnet, London. Jerry Halliwell, born in Watford, Hertfordshire. And then I didn't look up Posh Spice. Maybe it didn't tell me.
Yeah, because Victoria Beckham's gonna not let you know where she was born and what year she was born.
1974. She was born in Harlow, Essex. So they were all quite young in 1994. Some younger than 20 when they first got together. Some just barely 22. That's the I guess that's
Jerry Halliwell.
No. Yeah. Jerry Halliwell's the
she
oldest,
was the
and
oldest,
then Baby is the youngest. Yes, Emma Bunton. But they're all pretty much the same age, actually. But I guess whenever you're 22 and you're 18, it might play into the dynamics. And I mean, Jerry Halliwell left the band in the middle of this tour, so I think she thought of herself as more the center of the universe of the Spice Girls, more than like everybody having an equal share, which is the way they're credited. It's like Lennon McCartney times 5.
Yeah, and I think it's Mel C. I think everyone considered her to have the strongest singing voice, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's more of, yes, correct. But it's also the songwriting, and that's why you need to know about their songwriting process to know kind of what the inside and out of the whole thing is. They do not play instruments, but they co-wrote all of their songs. According to their frequent collaborator, Richard Stannard, they had two approaches to songwriting. Ballads were written in a traditional way with the group sitting around a piano, while songs such as Wannabe were the result of tapping into their mad energy. Elliot Kennedy, another regular co-writer, said that songwriting sessions with the Spice Girls were, quote, very quick and short. He described his experience working with them. What I said to them was, look, I've got a chorus, check this out, and I'd sing them the chorus and the melody, no lyrics or anything, and straight away, 5 pads and pencils came out, and they were throwing lines at us. 10 minutes later, the song was written. Then you go and refine it. Then later, as you were recording, you might change a few things here and there, but pretty much it was a real quick process. They were confident in what they were doing, throwing it out there, okay? So that is something you could make a lot of fun of, I think, but that would be silly because they were like 18, 19 years old. And so, like, that is their songwriting process, and that's how you get people of the world spice up your life.
Yeah,
every boy and every girl spice up your life. I think that there
she
are
goes to the front. Ha, see, ja, hold tight.
Yeah, it's like they were like, we'll come up with something later.
Yeah, right.
There's that whole racist verse that's like Kung Fu,
Yellow
Man.
It has to do with the old dance, Yellow Man in Timbuktu, Colorful Both Me and You. Then it says Kung Fu Fighting Dancing Queen, which are both references to earlier songs.
Sure, keep going.
And Tribal Spaceman and all that's in between.
That is maybe one of the worst lyrics of, I mean, it doesn't even make sense, right? Like,
no.
All that's in between a tribal spaceman and what?
Yeah, exactly.
Kung Fu fighting?
Yeah, Yellow Man in Timbuktu is pretty bad because people are not
yellow.
Colors.
Yeah. That's a little tasteless. And Spice Up Your Life, although I understand why it was chosen as the lead single and everything, I don't like that song very much.
No.
It's just a little too silly, unless it would be...
But did you like the video?
An encore... I don't remember the video.
It was like them flying that spaceship.
Oh, cool. I bet it was really expensive.
Yes.
This is the era of the most expensive music videos of all time.
Yep.
Ironically, they played on a television in my dorm room that was like, I don't know, 12 inches, 15 inches, something like that.
I mean, anyway, if you're saying it's 12 inches or 15 inches, it was probably only 10 inches, right?
Yeah. Is that work for TVs too?
I think so.
And fish?
Yes. Yep. TVs and fish.
This has been Dorf on Fishing.
Dorf.
Anyway, I don't remember that video. I remember when the Backstreet Boys were in spacesuits. Speaking of Starship
Troopers. I know what you're talking about. Speaking of Starship Troopers, remember when the Backstreet Boys are in space?
So anyway, it's silly lyrics, and that is why they don't even think about them very long. They just pop right out of their 18 to 22-year-old brains all together, writing with pads. However, the second half of this story is like, you're only going to be able to be in the Garden of Eden for a while.
Yeah, right. Strike
Paul
while the
Wilson
iron.
recalled an experience whereby he and Watkins were responsible for writing the backing track, and then the group would write the lyrics. Watkins added, I wasn't an 18-year-old girl. They always had this weird ability to come up with phrases that you'd never heard of.
Zig-a-zag.
He said the members would dance routines at the same time as writing songs, and then they knew what they wanted to write about right from day one. You couldn't force your musical ideas upon them, which I have no idea what that means. Sinclair, one of these songwriting partners, identified Jerry Halliwell as the major source for ideas for the Spice Girls songs, including many of the concept starting points for the group's songs. Another collaborator, Tim Hawes, who worked with the group when they were starting out, said Halliwell's strength in writing lyrics and pop hooks, and estimated she was responsible for 60 to 70% of the lyrics that he'd worked with her on. The group's collaborators credit the other members of the group as being more active than Halliwell in constructing the melodies and harmonies of their songs.
Okay, well that explains why
I mean, that doesn't, it's circumstantial evidence, Gary. We don't know. It was probably one of the biggest stories of 1998 when they performed 2 shows without her, and then her lawyer told the rest of them that she was not going to be in the band anymore.
That was the biggest story. I remember where I was on the toilet when I heard the news.
I do not remember that happening.
No, neither do I.
But it was, you said strike while the iron's hot. Craziness. They were on their very first tour.
Oh, really?
Now, they had toured a lot, but it was their first tour.
Still their first tour.
And it was the first tour. It was the biggest, selling live act girl group of all time, and for touring and these albums. This one wasn't as big a hit as the first one because it only sold 14 million albums.
Yeah. Amateur hour.
I know. Can you imagine anything selling 14 million albums now? I mean,
no, you can't. Well, you don't sell albums anymore. Just get those streams. This
1400 LPs.
Right. So, I mean, and none of the songs, I don't think any of these were as strong as what was on like the singles from their first album.
So I guess I agree. The song "Say You'll Be There" has always been my favorite Spice Girls song, and
which is on the first album.
"Wannabe" probably would still be liked by me if I hadn't heard it as many times as
I agree.
Hootie and the Blowfish.
Yes,
for
I
example.
agree with that.
"To Become One" I always liked ironically.
Yeah.
And
it's a dirty song.
It's about having sexual intercourse.
Whoa, dude! Now I gotta put the explicit filter on this episode.
That is a medical term. The next song I think is lots and lots of fun. It's called "Stop," and it has
that's track 2.
It's track 2. It has a very highly produced late '90s pop sound to it, which is heavily influenced, I think, by '60s pop British music.
Yeah.
And that led me down a rabbit hole that they do call this era from like 94 to 98 Cool Britannia.
Yeah, because and then you got what was the Welsh one? Yeah, I knew Cool with Blur and Oasis, and this was all Cool Britannia.
Oasis, and I would say probably Austin Powers fits into that, even though it's an American movie.
Yeah.
Because it was like it was very out there that you were British. Anyway, they say basically that the Spice Girls were a really big part of that. And it is interesting to think about. They were very British. We knew that at the time, but I didn't think of them as, even though they're Britpop, because they aren't. They're more like Take That or later Robbie Williams. I feel like "Stop" could be a Robbie Williams song. I didn't do the research enough to know, but I bet there were a lot of these songwriters floating around that wrote these songs for several of those kinds of bands at the time, right?
Probably, right. That's what they were doing.
But this album is expensive sounding. They got whole horn sections. They got orchestras on multiple songs. What do you think of "Stop" there, Gary?
Yeah, it's a good one.
That's right there. Thank you very much. Anyway, "Spice Up Your Life" was number 1. The next number 1 from the album is the third track, "Too Much." And that's it starts off slow, but then you think it's going to be a ballad, but then it kind of gets going, and it's really very disco, I feel like, which I think there was also a little bit during this period of time, a little bit more of an appreciation for, like, that disco's actually had a lot of good songs, and throughout the 80s and 90s that we were trashing disco, like maybe that was stupid, and
Yeah, did you want to
that's called Too Much.
Too
their
Much,
second
right.
number one.
I think it was unfortunate that they got those nicknames too.
Well, but it was. I mean, I think it's hard to say that didn't propel them to success. I mean, if you look at it from a
That's not something that they named themselves either. That was a journalist named gave them those monikers.
If you watch, I told you before we started recording. There's their very first performance, which is actually on like not even on a stage. It's just this area, almost like a photo shoot.
Area 51.
It's at Area 51, Gary. They are aliens. I was building up to it.
I was gonna play. They played for aliens. That's why the aliens keep coming to Earth.
How do you think those harmonies could come out of human beings, Gary?
That's true. Yes, that makes sense. Well, I say deport them.
They are high energy dancing, and they sound really great singing. But they are one minority: the traditionally beautiful girl with black hair, the traditionally beautiful girl with blonde hair, the traditionally beautiful girl with red hair, and then the girl that's sporty. Yeah, the nickname.
So she's a lesbian.
Scary. They're definitely types.
Yeah,
and I think that it's not weird for the press to give them nicknames, especially the tabloids in Britain. Give me a break, Gary.
I wish I could.
But it's unfortunate that the Black English performer
Mel B. Give her name.
Scary. I don't know what's scary about her.
She's black. Come on, I think it's it's because she wore her hair in kind of a way as why it was originally. But even that's a problem. Just the fact that she's wearing her hair like a black woman would wear her hair. That's what's scary. Yeah,
looks great.
Yeah. She's a beautiful woman. I'd date her. What are you doing, Mel? Give me a call.
I mean, they're all right around our age.
They're
a little older than us, though.
Yes. Yep.
They're firmly Gen Xers.
Yeah, they're early 70s. We're late 70s.
Except for baby, 76 baby.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. What are you doing, Emma? Give me a call.
Emma Bunton. She's a television personality. I think maybe a clothes designer.
Okay.
Okay, the next one, it starts with one of the best lyrics I think ever. Get down, deeper and down, get deeper and down, Gary.
Oh, you were kidding about the best lyrics ever.
Get down, get deeper and down.
Get down, get
Saturday
deeper
night.
and down. Yep.
Yeah. So they sing that a lot in that song. And I was about to roll my eyes, but then the other part of the song starts, and I found it very enjoyable.
Yeah. Was that a single also? No.
I don't think so.
No, okay.
And that's what's interesting is that some of these ones that I enjoyed through this listen were not released on the radio, but they could have been. They're not all filler.
Bangers.
Well, I will not go that far. I was nicely surprised by Spiceworld, but it did take me 2 listens because of all the terrible lyrics. It made me roll my eyes the first time.
Yeah, you got a headache because my eyes rolled out of my head.
I know. I had detached both retinas.
I went to the oncologist and he was like, "Have you been listening to Spiceworld?"
I told you not to do that.
That's right.
And then the next one is very disco, and I really like the production of it. It's called Never Give Up on the Good Times.
Never do it.
And that's one of my favorite kind of things that they basically, the girls just want to have fun is sort of their motto, you know?
Yes.
Never give up on the good times. Living it up is a state of mind.
That's true. The Spice Girls are like a modern day Dalai Lama.
Nova babe. It has this really like Curtis Mayfield-ish disco orchestra playing in the background. It's fun. I like it. And that was also not.
Gosh darn it, I love it.
Now, does it get a little weaker as we get to the end?
Yeah, yes, move over.
Is the final track, The Lady is a Vamp, embarrassing?
Yeah.
Yes, it is, Gary. It's embarrassing.
Right. Yeah, only 10 tracks, and they couldn't even do that.
Now, well, it wasn't time yet. They needed to marinate. This is my advice. Wait a year.
Yeah.
But I guess if they had, Jerry would have been gone.
She would have been Audi 5000.
She went solo, and I don't know exactly how popular she was solo, but I don't remember any Jerry Halliwell songs, do you?
You know what? No, I don't either. But I hope they make a movie, a major motion picture where Jerry Halliwell's played like some sort of monkey. That would be great. I'd love to watch that.
Honestly, I would enjoy the Spice Girls Better Woman more than Better Man.
Yeah.
I would want everyone else to be played by monkeys and the Spice Girls to play themselves.
I'm sure they would do it.
I think that would be better because the public and the men that created them and the ways that they were.
Oh yeah. There you go. I like the
monkeys.
Metaphor. Yeah, that's a pro.
Anyway, the Ladies Vamp, super embarrassing. The third number one from this album is Viva Forever, which is not very good. I don't.
No, I don't think so either.
It was a number one ballad. I think everybody just wanted To Become One to happen again. Does have this slow guitar. It sort of sounds like a Bryan Adams song from this era where he had a lot of Spanish guitar.
Or early. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Spanish guitar, like from Don Juan to Marco.
Yes, which would have been mid '90s. That's right.
Starring my favorite actor, Marlon
Brando. I knew where you're going.
Move Over is track number 6, and
that's your side B.
That is there's a lot of crashing guitars during this chorus and building horns, which I do not think I want to dance to is the problem.
Generation Next, Generation Next, Generation Next. Those are the lyrics.
Move over. That is what this song is about.
That's right.
Get out of our way. We're the new generation.
Move over, yeah. Don't do it over. Yeah.
The lyrics are funny, but that song doesn't do a whole lot for me.
No.
Do It is the next song, and it's about doing it. It being like the Nike Just Do It.
Yes. Oh, right.
It's supposed to be inspirational. Keep your mouth
and it
shut,
was. It inspired, you know what?
Shut, get back into place is what Mama said. And this is about telling Mom to go screw off, I guess.
Yeah, well, it was inspirational. It inspired me to turn off the album. Ayo, ya hockey puck.
It's like feminism, dude. It's how it doesn't care how you look, how it's just how you feel. You got to make it real. Time to free what's in your soul. These aren't terrible. I mean, they're cliches, but yeah, this is a real girl power song.
Yeah.
I guess Denying is sort of forgettable. Viva Forever we've talked about. So that's Spiceworld. There's a few on here that I really enjoy, and there's no way for me to disentangle the fact that I was 19, right?
Yes.
And I remember Cool Britannia, and I remember the Spice Girls being on the TV originally. You know, the other thing I wanted to sneak in here though was whenever I was a camp counselor in the summer '98, I worked with the 5 and 6-year-old boys, and the 5 and 6-year-old boys and the 5 and 6-year-old girls all love this album, this particular album.
Oh, this one, Spiceworld?
Yes, Spiceworld.
Yeah.
And they played it a lot, and so I heard it a lot that summer. The last summer I lived with my parents, essentially, and you know, I mean, it sparked something deep in my memory, so maybe it's not fair for me to review this one, but I was enjoying the old Spice Girls. I don't know. It maybe that's the key, is that they're already almost what's it called on where they have like the clean version sung by children?
Kids Bop.
There you go. They're they're almost half of the way to Kids Bop already.
Yeah, because they were kids. They were just kids themselves.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
They were not as young as Hanson.
But who is?
The drummer from Hanson, I think, was like 7 or something.
I think he was just an embryo.
They just bounced the embryo on the...
Yeah.
They attached him to the foot pedal.
That's right. He jumped up and down. Okay, let's rate Spiceworld. We have a star system. 4 stars is your scary spice. 3 stars is your posh spice.
Oh, wow. We rank it. See, remember how we're not going to rank women's using numbers, maybe.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. That was just a joke. 4 stars, 3 stars, 2 stars, 1 stars. We're going to give it half stars. Eric, what are you going to give Spiceworld?
I'm going to give it 3 stars, Gary.
I'm going to give it 2.5 stars.
No apologies for me. I like it. It's a good nostalgia trip. I never listened to anything. They did get reunited almost a decade later and toured, which would have been fun.
Yeah.
But I never listened to any of the new stuff.
Did they release new stuff?
I believe so. They recorded again. And when they toured in 2007, they made bank.
I bet.
Because they hadn't done anything for 10 years, and they were
No,
very popular.
they did not come with that. They have, so according to Apple Music, 1996 Spice, 1997 Spiceworld, and 2000 Forever. So, and Forever
Is
just has
Forever a greatest hits?
no, Forever just has the four girls on the front, and that was them as a quartet. So nothing.
Yeah, they continued the tour. The four of them continued the tour without Jerry. They just kept touring the world.
Maybe they
everybody's
did
tickets and
record one new song in 2007. Is that when you said they got back together? 2007?
I think I got that right, but
Oh yeah, so the greatest hits came out in 2007, and they recorded one new song for that. It looks like so, and then they toured.
classic music industry move.
Yep.
Well, Spice World, I was dreading listening to it, to be honest, and some of the songs really got me tapping my old toe there, Gary.
All right, it's 3
Especially
stars.
the disco-y ones. I guess I
Yeah.
don't really like their ballads. I like their more disco-y ones.
The dancers.
Yeah, I mean, I actually went dancing quite a bit in college.
Yeah,
that was the
something
thing people did.
We
It
did
was
that.
fun.
Yep. Yes, we did. We did that.
And there was a lot of popular dance music.
Yes. Yep. Okay, so that was the Spice Girls. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the movie, not the book, Starship Troopers, from director Paul Verhoeven.
TriStar Pictures takes you to the front lines of the next frontier. Kill 'em all! Starship Troopers.
Welcome back to my so-called podcast. My name is Eric Spiegel. I've been here for the whole first half. Weird that you started here, but this is the Starship Troopers part. If you really couldn't stand us talking about the Spice Girls, I guess.
Some people skip it.
Yeah, which is fine, you know?
Yeah.
We put it out there, and what it becomes in your world.
That's
listener.
right. Yeah, you can remix it. You can play the.
I would like some remixes of the theme song. That'd be good with some like trip hop,
dubstep.
or dubstep. Yeah, turn it into a thing with a really big drop.
That's right. Drop. Like that new movie, Drop.
Yeah. Like whenever I was walking along with my book and fell out of my hand.
That's right. Gravity, man. Gravity. That was the trailer for a little movie called Starship Troopers. That's what we were listening to when we came in. We're going to talk about that this half of the podcast. But before we do, I'm going to give you a little taste of what other movies were out at the theater.
You know I like little tastes.
I know, just a little taste. It's a wafer thin. Number 10, Fairy Tale, a true story.
Starring Drew Barrymore.
As Drew Barrymore.
No, wait. That's Ever After.
Yeah.
It's Fairy Tale. Oh, is Fairy Tale about the fake fairies? I think it is.
Oh, yeah.
Those famous little fairy garden thing.
Yes.
They passed off the photographs as real.
Yep. Number 9, Kiss the Girls. which is
Yeah, it's something I saw with Alicia in the theater before we were dating.
yeah. Oh, okay.
We went with a group of friends. Ashley Judd, Morgan Freeman.
You went with Ashley Judd and Morgan Freeman?
Yeah, it was the world premiere.
Okay.
Duh.
Cool.
Morgan Freeman is a loud chewer.
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
say that.
sure. And he's all like, moonlight grab.
That's James Earl Jones.
Oh, tomato.
Hope, Andy Dufresne.
Oh,
Hope
there
is
you
a
go.
Beautiful, Andy.
There
The
you go.
penguins march along Antarctica's surface, and they hold an egg on their feet.
You're doing a
I'm
good
Morgan Freeman,
Morgan Freeman.
and I am God.
That's right.
In that one movie.
With Jim Carrey.
Is he also God in Steve Almighty or whatever it is?
I don't know if he appears in that one or not. Yeah, Bruce
Is that the right
Almighty.
name of that movie?
Well, so the first one was Bruce Almighty, and you're right. That one might have been called.
I'm calling it Steve Almighty because it's Steve Carell, I think.
Yeah, oh, you're right.
I don't remember what it was called.
I don't
That
either.
one's like Noah's Ark, though.
Yes. That's right.
They keep trying that. Hollywood keeps trying Noah's Ark. Nobody wants to watch the Noah's Ark story, I guess.
Hollywood keeps trying Noah's Ark.
Well, they tried twice at least.
Yeah.
They tried with that one with Steve Carell, and then they were like, "What about a grittier Noah?
With Russell Crowe, right?
Let's get Aronofsky on this." You saw Black Swan, right? Let's do Noah with him.
You guys loved Black Swan. What
You
if
like
that
the
was
story?
Noah?
Do you guys imagine if Noah was walking around in ballet shoes and he had to like pick his own toenail off of his foot?
Right?
That part of the Bible.
You like that, you sickos?
I think there's giant rock monsters in that too.
In Noah's Ark or in Black Swan?
It's just called Noah.
Oh, Noah.
So it implies it could just be like about a kid from your soccer team.
Or a documentary about Noah Wiley.
Yes.
Yep.
From ER to the Pit, how one man played the same character for his whole life.
That's right. It's good stuff.
No, he was on a UFO show.
And he was in A Few Good Men.
No, Wiley was?
Yep.
Was he like 7?
He was 7, remember? And yep, he was one of the he's given the tour of Gitmo, and he kept calling Demi Moore ma'am. I remember. Number 8, previously My So-Called Podcast episode, Eve's Bayou. Internet.
Yep, which I need to rewatch because I didn't like it that much, and you were like, "You're wrong."
Yes, yep, that's right.
Which is
That's what I said.
interesting. I mean, to all indications, I'm wrong.
Yep.
I enjoyed Sinners. I feel like Sinners and Eve's Bayou might be in the same genre, right?
Eve's Bayou was not a horror movie. It was kind of
Sure,
a
but it's
magical
got
realism.
Okay, fine.
So, number 7 was Dirk Diggler himself, Boogie Nights.
Yeah, Dirk Stigler.
Yep.
Yeah, I told you I was listening to Analyze Fish, and he's like, actually, the night that we recorded the Hollywood Bowl might have been my rock bottom. He's like, if it were Boogie Nights, it'd be that part with Alfred Molina.
It's good. Good stuff. Number 6 was Mad City, which I don't know.
I think that's Travolta and Hoffman, and nobody cared.
Okay, it's not Good Kid Mad City. Kendrick Lamar's first
it's not
album.
Mad TV.
No. Number 5 is Red Corner from MGM. I don't really remember that one at all.
I believe Richard Gere's in China in that one.
Okay, I'll trust you on that one.
Mm-hmm. I remember the VHX box. It's like all red, and he's in the corner.
That's me in the red corner. That's me in the red spotlight. That's me losing my red religion.
Because it's a communist country.
You get it? Number 4, Hoo-ah, the Devil's Advocate.
Doesn't say why on that.
Hoo-ah, I'm the devil.
Every movie after that. Hoo-ah! Is it heating up in here? Hoo-ah! I'm in heat.
Hoo-ah, my father made him an offer he couldn't refuse.
Yeah. Did he ever go that big before Scent of a Woman?
He was like, hoo-ah, Attica, Attica.
Well, I mean, he's big in that, but he's very in character.
Yeah, he's supposed to be big. No, I think Scent of the Woman's biggest.
I don't know if you can always blame Pacino for that movie, because it's not that great anyway.
What, Scent of a Woman?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not.
There's not a whole lot there.
There's not a whole lot there. Number 3, a movie that we talked about on the podcast and on this very podcast earlier in the episode. You went and saw it with your ex-girlfriend. I know what you did last summer. Did you see the trailer for the new one?
I didn't, but I bet it has the same plot.
It has Freddie Prinze Jr. at one point's like, this happened before. We have to tell people. And then there's one part where Jennifer Lawrence is like, what did you do last summer?
Jennifer Love Hewitt?
Yeah, no, it is Jennifer Love Hewitt. You're right.
I'd be a little concerned about Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, no, she's dead. It was Jennifer Love Hewitt. And,
actually, she's in a Lynn Ramsey movie that's going to be at Cannes with Robert Pattinson that I'm interested in.
Okay.
J-Law.
Okay.
I know what you did this summer. Yes, I saw that. Saw what the Kiss the Girls before we were dating, and I know what you did last summer after we were dating.
So that's the linear.
And they're both on the top 10 at the same time.
And did you go see the number 2 movie, Bean?
I have never seen an episode of Bean or the movie of Bean or the one where there's a bee and Rowan Atkinson is getting attacked by a bee on Netflix.
I don't know what that one is.
I think it's just called like The Bee.
Okay.
Hang on.
Did you see Rowan Atkinson in Hot Shots Part 2?
Well, I saw that movie, but I don't think I knew who he was.
He's at the very end when he's like...
He's in Love Actually as well.
Charlie, he comes to save him, and Rowan Atkinson's like, "You're American," and Charlie Sheen goes, "Yes, from America."
Okay, so he is on a show on Netflix called Man versus Bee.
Okay.
And it is nine episodes of a down on his luck man who finds himself entrenched with a battle with a bee while house sitting a rich couple's modern mansion, Gary.
Well, okay. I'm going to just go right past that and give you the number 1 movie that was released. It's the movie we're talking about tonight, Starship Troopers! Beep, 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 beep.
Blasting into
cinemas. Military! Yeah!
Join the military.
That's right.
It's just like football, but with more guns.
That's right. It's the best.
So Gary, this movie is based on a book, like you mentioned, by Robert Heinlein.
I did mention it was a book, yeah.
He wrote it in 1959. This movie has the same people's names, and they are from South America, although you'd be hard-pressed to place what part of South America. Really.
Buenos Aires.
Oh, yeah, but I know, but like if you just saw them and you didn't know they were from Buenos Aires, like,
oh, okay.
I think they were from Iowa or something.
Well, right.
Anyway, it is the Starship Troopers versus the Bugs in the book. It is Johnny Rico and these character names, Dizzy and such. And they join the military and go fight the Bugs, but it does not have the same tone as the movie does. The book does not. And it also has what my dad bemoans the most, which is an absence of these jumpsuit things that they wore in the book, which allowed them to sort of almost be like it was like a spacesuit, but almost like you're like a superhero in it. So it got a little bit of a what's that called? Like a mech suit kind of a feel to it. And so that's how they fought the Bugs in the story. And it was a little bit more earnest. So either Gary,
a little bit more earnest.
Either Gary, the movie would have been better if they would have followed the book, or you like what they did?
Well, I don't think this is a classic either or, where I'm going to go with a little neither. It's a neither nor instead of an either or. So, I mean, I get it right off the bat. I don't know if this movie really works for me. But at the same time, reading about the book, I've never read the book, but reading what the book was, I don't think I'm interested in seeing that movie either. So, yeah, I think, yeah, I'm going to go with either. Because I think the movie, I know, like at the beginning of the podcast, you said, oh, it's satire and it's not, Verhoeven's poking fun of it. And granted, a lot of people, notoriously miss that. They were taking it at face value. But then
which is, it's a fine line.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
But yeah, I think if you're unable, if a majority of people are unable to tell, I think you fail as a satire. You can't blame you can't make something and the audience are like, well, I don't get it. And then you can't be like, oh, well, all this audience is stupid. You don't get it,
Well, okay, so everything that's had a critical reappraisal is garbage? Is that what you're saying?
What do you mean? Everything that had a critical I
think if you went, so here's the problem. He's making fun of not just authoritarian and fascism, he's also making fun of America and the fact that American movies in the 80s were almost straightforward fascist authoritarian movies at times.
Yeah, right.
Big action movies. And so, I mean, he shows the characters, they look like Nazis at the end, Gary.
Yeah, I get yeah, so people get it. And it just doesn't work.
At the end, whenever it goes, it's afraid!
Yeah.
And they all cheer. Yeah, I mean, I find that this movie works for me on a couple of levels. I think it rules. I don't like it nearly as much as I like RoboCop, which is a better movie.
Yeah.
That takes itself just seriously enough for you to be invested in the characters.
I think
maybe the problem here is that we're too distant from these people as even people, maybe.
Well, there's that. Yeah. A lot of the characters I just don't care about. I guess one of the biggest flaws is I don't see how anybody could pine for Denise Richards when you have Dinah Meyer there. It's like, that doesn't make any sense to me. So,
well, it's a classic Teen Wolf situation, Gary.
And so I got to give you that. I read a little bit about how the story was originally the author, Ed Neumeyer, who wrote RoboCop, came up with the idea of a
bug hunt at Outpost 7 or whatever.
Yeah, and that was his love triangle. It was kind of like a high school movie love triangle thing during a war with bugs. And then it was brought to his attention, oh, there's this book about a war with bugs, Starship Troopers, and we can have the rights to that. And so he shoehorned his script into that book, and I just don't think it works, is I think what it comes out to. I bet you it would have been like RoboCop was, an original script by him, and that may have worked better. Maybe his original idea would have worked better for me than shoehorning his idea into Starship Troopers, because the book doesn't have any of this love triangle. Dizzy's a guy, not a woman.
Yeah. The love triangle thing is really bizarre, and is only resolved when he sleeps with Dizzy because Razchak tells him to, like he orders him to.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Or well,
I never noticed that before, but that's
right.
pretty funny.
Yeah.
I mean, if you watch it through the right lens, it's very enjoyable. But I feel like it also does have those sort of shocking, violent parts. That are
like
way more violent than you would be expecting in certain scenes, and so it's like in some scenes it feels a little bit like Top Secret, and sometimes it feels a little bit like Total Recall. And I do think it's uneven tonally in a way that, like, you could complain that about RoboCop, but for some reason there's some alchemy that works better there.
Yeah, RoboCop works pretty well.
I think it's simply that Clarence Boddicker and Murphy and Nancy Allen's character, they're all playing it so straight.
Yeah.
And and they're good actors, which cannot be overlooked. There is some bad act in this film.
Yeah, I mean,
Michael Ironsides, as always, rules.
Yeah,
and is great. I always love him, but Dina Meyer's actually really good. I thought. What's her name?
Denise Richards.
Denise Richards. She does what she can. She does the thing that she can do.
Yeah.
And she was always kind of a limited performer. Casper Van Dien is a doofus, and I think his casting is kind of a joke.
One scene that didn't. Okay, so I mean, it starts out the high school love triangle, and you're right. There's a football, football match, and they kind of show
it's like space football, though.
Yeah,
the colors are all weird,
right? But then they sign up, and in this world, you don't have the right to vote unless you've served in the military. Like, you got to be a citizen.
And procreation.
Oh, that's right. Or anything. Because
I want to. I'm joining the Starship Troopers because
I
want to
be
kids.
I want to be a mom. But she dies, and it's kind of like, and I guess the worst death was during the basic training, and they're like, you got live ammo, and there's the fact that that gets played for a joke when they shoot his head off, and I was just like,
no, I disagree. I feel like that was the one thing that really kind of shook me violent wise, and it is not played as a joke.
I think was
Johnny Rico is like really upset that he let this guy get killed. He takes it on himself.
I think the filming of it, that scene, I think Verhoeven was like, it's funny that he took his helmet off and he gets shot. I think.
See, that's funny because it bothered me when I saw it.
I didn't like it either but I think because it was played for a joke.
I'll rewatch the scene and I'll think about it from that lens, because it always really upset me because it was just like, oh, this is no joke. This basic training, we're gonna start dying now. That's what's gonna happen to us. So it was like I guess for me it's a horrible scene because it's like, if I screwed up that bad, I know exactly how I would feel. And it was very clear that he screwed up. It was his fault. I don't know.
I don't know. I think just the way
strong to me.
It got. I think the pacing of that and how it was kind of foreshadowed. This time I was like, oh, are they trying to think this is funny? I don't. And so that's where I was like, I didn't like it.
I mean, so the last movie Verhoeven made before this was Showgirls, which I have never seen, but you would have to think that an audience would know that he wasn't playing everything straight at this point.
No, I think that was the problem with Showgirls too. The audiences took that at face value also, and it was kind of like, what is going on here? Because Basic Instinct was also played straight. It wasn't like wink, wink,
Basic
nudge.
Instinct really does live on the edge of irony. Like you can watch that straightforward thriller,
right? And so
I actually don't know, of all of his movies, I don't know what interested him about Basic Instinct other than he just likes sex and violence. Because I mean, Joe Esterhaus was his friend, I guess, and he was hot shit at the time. Verhoeven's one of my favorite directors just because I feel like he's an entertainer and a provocateur, and both sides can come out. And obviously he made RoboCop one of my favorite movies. But even like since going back to Amsterdam, he's made some really interesting movies.
I mean, I don't know if they all work. I saw the what was that Nun one? I watched that one. That one was also.
Oh, that's a bit on the provocateur side.
Yeah.
I hear. I haven't seen that one. I saw Black Book, which is the one about a undercover Jewish girl in the going undercover as a Nazi to fight the Nazis. It's good. It's just a World War II adventure essentially.
Benedetta is the
Benedetta. And then there was a movie called Elle.
Hollow Man also he made.
That is definitely his worst movie.
Yeah.
That's there's nothing worth watching there.
But yeah, RoboCop and Total Recall are really good, and yeah, I just don't know.
Well, I find this to be a very I watched it with Adam. I should have had him tell me what he thought of it, like the tone, because I think that
you let your 13-year-old watch this.
Yeah, all bets are off, Gary.
Okay.
I mean, if I watch it with him.
Okay.
What are you talking about? The boobs or the decapitations?
Yeah, I think all of it together. I mean, I think this is a horror R-rated movie, so
Yeah, that's fine. You
Okay.
probably would have watched it when you were 13, right?
I don't know. I mean, I don't. Yeah, it's hard for me to put it. It came out when I was 19, so and I went and
No,
saw
I'm
it when I was
saying, like,
19.
if it was on HBO when you were 13, for
Yeah,
some
I'm
reason, you
trying to
probably
think.
would have.
I don't know. Did I watch?
I
Let's see,
guess
Total
the
Recall
question
came
is,
out
when
in
did you
1990, and then when did I see that?
I
So,
saw that on VHS, so probably
Yeah.
like a year or two later.
Right. I don't think I saw,
Anyway.
and I don't think I saw the uncut version of RoboCop when I was 13 or 10. It came out when we were 10.
No,
So,
I saw it on
yeah, that was
taped off of ABC
Channel 11.
Sunday night movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
No, it was prime time, baby. Whenever I
Oh,
recorded
okay.
it.
I remember seeing that though on Channel 11 with commercials and edited it. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and it's actually it's one of those Hitchcockian things where whenever I first saw RoboCop for real, the R thing, it was like such a weird movie to me because I'd never seen any of the gore.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
I kind of felt like I had because all they do is cut away like a half second earlier.
Right.
And so your mind fills in the difference. And I always imagined that Murphy's killing was more gory than it is in the movie. And it's super gory. It's like a lot of exploding blood packets.
Yes.
Which, they're called squibs in the biz, Gary, and they're fun.
Thanks, Eric.
But I always had to look away at that point anyway because it's so awful. But yeah, they make you really feel his death. And even though, the characters are over the top, it's like, I guess maybe like 25% over the top and 75% playing it straight.
In RoboCop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in this movie, it's there's some people that are playing it straight. Like I said, Michael Ironsides and Dina Meyer. She's just straightforward. I mean, she's not a very interesting character.
No,
but, like,
right,
what does she see in this
because,
guy?
Right, yeah, exactly. And of course, I always forget his name, but he's great in everything he's in.
Neil Patrick Harris.
No, I mean he's fine, but it was not there. He's the the drill sergeant.
Oh yeah, from
Clancy Brown.
Shawshank.
Clancy Brown.
Yeah, from Shawshank
Yeah, from
Redemption
Shawshank and Lost. He's in Lost.
I saw him in a anthology, the Mortuary Collection. It's like he's this old owner of a mortuary and telling stories to somebody, horror anthology.
Yeah. So yeah, Clancy Brown's great. And like he actually gets some, I mean, that's some of the jokes that actually work, where he's like, Jake Busey's like, why do I need a knife? And he's like, go and put your hand out there. It's like, okay.
I mean, some of the stuff really works, but I guess if you're not... For me, when I first saw it, I was just impressed by the violence and the scope of it. And we have to talk a little bit about the bugs themselves, which are... I'm a nerd for movies like this, so like the actual creature design of the bugs, I really like. It's very unusual. They have like knife legs. Or sword legs that they're...
Oh, yeah, right. And because they cut into the people and everything like that.
And they only need to do... They need only to walk over to you to kill you. And
Yeah.
they're very terrifying. And it's like as soon as you learn how dangerous they are, there's hundreds of them. And the guns they have to shoot them are pitiful. I mean, it doesn't even seem to do...
Well,
you have to
right,
load an
yeah.
entire
That's
clip
right.
to kill them.
Yeah, that first...
So that was a fun sort of indestructible villain for me, at the time, and I enjoyed how weird everything was, and I liked some of the jokes. Obviously, I feel like really, if you don't get the propaganda piece with the television cutaways, like you're really not paying attention to what's happening.
Well, right. Oh, and that's another thing. That whole gimmick, I don't think that worked for me either. I think it worked a little
it
better.
Doesn't sound like anything did.
No. And I came out, I went and saw this in 1997, and I came away. I mean, he really does batch. I don't understand how people missed it, because you're right. You got that cutaway where they got the bug and then the cow gets censored. And then at the end, it's like they censor the bug. It's like, okay, come on. That's basically saying it right there that, we're as bad, that the people are as bad as the bugs.
Can you imagine what kind of a crazy television situation you'd have to be like, here, we put a bug in a steel cage with a cow
Right.
to show you what they do. too, because they want you to be afraid of them, right?
Right.
So the idea is we need everybody to be so afraid of the bugs that they go across the galaxy or whatever to fight them and mostly die, just so we can take over their planet and they could be afraid of us, is the story of this movie.
Well,
And-
right. Yeah.
And even the trailer doesn't portray it that way. The trailer we heard was like the threat to our existence.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know. I mean, like, knowing the way the fascist regimes play games these days, it's like they could have orchestrated some sort of a thing that they attacked us for, and now we're blaming them. And like, you got to think about, like, you're going to their bug planet. Why would you do that?
Right.
But it is okay. So what works for me, Gary, is like the do I love Diz or do I love Carmen, and am I going to be a pilot or get the right test score, like Harry Potter, to be the thing that I want to be, and then when I get that thing, like Denise Richards is very self-satisfied that she's a pilot, and she does this one maneuver that is hard to do, and the guy that's her like pilot buddy is like, whoa, nice, right? And so all this stuff would distract you from the fact that what you're actually doing, the mission, is not good. It's not what we should be doing at all. And a bunch of us are going to die. A bunch of us are dying for this weird reason that they're not telling us everything, obviously. Anyway, so all that works for me. Like, I think it would work to distract people from the big picture by having all these mini dramas and stuff, which is what happens, especially if boys and girls are in the locker room together.
Yeah, but I mean, that's presented in a way that they're not sexually attracted to each other at all. Like, nobody cares. They're just concerned about killing bugs at that time. That's what they're so obsessed with. So it's like, I mean, and that's why that scene was
sexual
presented.
Tension, but not in. So he has a scene in RoboCop that's non-sexualized shower nudity as well.
Right.
That's co-ed.
Yep.
I think he likes to show that in our face, where it's like non-sexual nudity of men and women together exists all over the world, and Americans get all squeamish about it. So I like to put that in there.
Sure.
But it's also his way of showing that I think there's equality, right?
Yes. Yeah.
In this
right.
Future,
right.
Which is good. But all I'm saying is that the little dramas and the strive to be perfect and the strive to not get one of your guys killed or whatever is what you'd be paying attention to, even if people started wearing Nazi uniforms, I guess. And that's the thing that I feel like works pretty well for me. But I understand it isn't like viscerally engaging. It's more intellectually amusing to me.
Yeah.
If the violence is pretty visceral.
Yeah, well, right. And again, I don't know if, like I said, I didn't find it funny that, Big John, that's who he's Big John in, or Little John in the Robin Hood Men in Tights movie. Same actor, gets his head blown off. And I just, it didn't work for me back in 1997, and I guess my idea hasn't changed.
It is really, you're experiencing the tone differently than I am, because I really believe that scene is not played for laughs. I think it's one of the times where it's like trying to hit you with real violence and make you realize that it's not a game. Like, he does that from time to time in the movie. Like the first time when they have run into the bugs, it's like extremely, way more than they were prepared for, way more violent.
Well, right.
Everybody's dying left and right, and that part also draws you in, like, oh shit, this is not going to be easy.
Yeah.
I think,
but even
really
then, I don't know if that's not meant to be. See, and I guess the tone just doesn't work. Of like, well, yeah, I think that's why it doesn't work.
I guess for me, since the gore was so ultra realistic, and the filmmaking, the way it was cut, to me felt like when there was gore, when there was violence, it was not meant to be funny. It's supposed to be terrifying, so that you could understand why they would just want to kill those things, even though he looks like an animal when he's shooting the bug over and over and over, like way more than he needs to in that one scene. But you could understand the anger if they were that scary, which I do think they are. Mm-hmm. And they are CGI, and I think that the main bug, the way that they designed it, it looks a little unnatural already, so the CGI in 97 looked pretty good.
Yeah, it holds up. And then the spaceships and everything like that.
A really expensive movie for 1997.
Right, and they did not make their money back.
Yeah, well, just barely, I think.
Maybe they did. Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't a big hit, but it was not a bomb at all. I
think it
a
got
lot of people
bigger.
Probably enjoyed it unironically. There were 2 sequels on VHS, right? So somebody liked it.
Yeah, that's true. And I think it was a bigger hit. It's gotten... it's grown over time a lot, you know. So
I mean, it was sold out at De Pere Cinema whenever I saw it on opening weekend, but and everybody seemed to be having a good time.
oh yeah.
But yeah, I like this movie. I would give it 3 stars, Gary. 3.5 actually.
I'll give it a 2.5. It just really didn't work. It was just a middling movie.
I mean, I feel like you want to give this a 1.5. I think
No,
it's okay.
I think it's. I definitely would give it 2 because of the CGI. Because yeah, I mean the production design, cinematography.
I mean, don't let me sway you.
No,
'cause
no,
it
I
didn't
mean-
sound like you liked anything about it except for maybe Dina Meyer.
Yeah, oh, I did like Dina Meyer. Liked her then. She holds up. So
She sure holds up as a beautiful person. I agree.
yep. So yeah,
Well,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
been great talking about this stuff with you, Gary. Who would have thought you would like Spiceworld more than Starship Troopers? But that's why you come to.
That's why you come to my
so-called
so-called podcast.
Surprises. Thanks for having me over in the podcastiverse, Gary.
Yep, Eric. That was another episode of my so-called podcast. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, we'll be back sometime probably. Bye.
Bye.